Hey guys, so I literally just finished my Blues and Jets preview. I'm now going to go on to the Blue Jackets and Tampa Bay Lightning, because this one should be a good series, but honestly I have one team in mind that I think is going to win, which obviously I'll get into that. So obviously Tampa Bay versus Columbus, so going into the season series first, like I always do. So they started October 13th in Tampa Bay, where Tampa won 8-2, pretty convincing win. January 8th in Tampa Bay as well, where Tampa won 4-0. And then February 18th in Columbus, where Tampa won 5-1. So Tampa basically just destroyed them. So Tampa won the series 3-0, outscoring the Jackets by a huge 17-3, which obviously the season series doesn't really matter when the playoffs start, but like just kind of like looking at it just kind of gives you an idea of how they play together, like what, like how much they can score. But that's a lot of goals. Like that's actually really good for them. So a big 17-3. Going into their records, Tampa Bay has actually tied the Detroit Red Wings and I think the 1996-1997 season with 62 wins in a season. They did not beat it, they just tied it, but that's also in the records, right? In like the history. So Tampa Bay is 62-16-4 with 128 points, and they're obviously way first in the Atlantic Division. Columbus is 47-31-4 with 98 points, 30 points less, and they're second in the wild card spot. I don't know if you guys knew, but Montreal, Carolina, and Columbus were all fighting for that spot. Carolina and Columbus ended up getting it. I wanted Montreal to make it just because even though I don't really like Montreal, or like I'm not a fan of them, I want them to be in the playoffs because I want as many Canadian teams to be in the playoffs as possible. It would be just lit. And if they won, and then if Montreal did that, then they would have been facing Tampa. So either way, they probably would have been out. But because I'm pretty sure they were in like rebuild mode. So if they were to make the playoffs, that would still be like really good. So going into their home records and away records, Tampa has been outstanding. 32-7-2 at home, 39-2 on the road. They're fucking insane, fucking amazing. Columbus has been 22-17-2 at home, and 25-14-2 away. So they have been better away, but in Tampa Bay, you're gonna like good luck with that. Like 32-7-2, good luck with that. Good luck. So Tampa Bay is coming in 2-1-0 in their final 3 games, a 4-2 loss in Montreal, a 3-1 win in Toronto, and then a 6-3 win in Boston on the last day of the regular season. Columbus is coming in 2-1-0 in their final 3 games as well, a 6-2 loss at home to Boston, a 3-2 shootout win in New York, and a 6-2 win in Ottawa on the last day of the regular season. Going into the goalies, so Bobrovsky's record is 37-24-1, and Vasilevsky is 39-10-4. For some reason, I didn't write the percentages, but 39-10 and 10-4 seems pretty good to me. I don't know if I wrote that right, but hopefully I did. I think I did because they have been really good. So Tampa Bay is obviously going to have home ice in this series, which is obviously going to be a big thing. So Tampa in their last 10 have been 7-3-0, and they have won their last 2. And Columbus has also been 7-3-0, and they also won their last 2. So basically, in their last 10, they've been the same. So going into the actual playoff series, so Game 1 is going to be in Tampa, starting Wednesday, April 10th at 7 p.m. Game 2 is also going to be in Tampa, Friday, April 12th at 7. Game 3 in Columbus, Sunday, April 14th at 7. And then Game 4 also in Columbus, Tuesday, April 16th at 7. Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 is going to be Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. Game 5 in Tampa, Game 6 in Columbus, and Game 7 in Tampa. Again, which all the times have yet to be determined because obviously we don't know if they'll need them yet. So if we were ever going to see a Golden State Warriors-esque behemoth in the modern NHL, this might be it. The Lightning enter the playoffs stacked across the board with a lethal dynamic offense, a blue line heated by arguably the game's top defenseman, and behind all that, one of the league's top net miners as the fail-safe. How's a fail-safe? And nothing is guaranteed in the grind of the postseason, though, and Tampa Bay's historic regular season will mean little if they can't put together a deep run, if not a winner. First up, they'll get Columbus, who's about as all in as the team can get. The Blue Jackets are still waiting for their marquee deadline acquisitions and their mainstay stars to all hit their stride together after failing to do so right away and letting things go right down to the wire, but before clinching their ticket to the dance. They now draw the toughest assignment of the first round. Pressure's on for both clubs. The pressure is definitely on Columbus in my opinion because Tampa Bay has just been awesome. Like I don't see them slowing down. I don't see them being any worse than they have been, or I don't see them being any better than they could have been. They're just doing amazing, and I do think that they're going to win this series, no doubt. But going into the advanced stats, so 5-on-5, Columbus has a 50.221 CF percent, which is 12th, a 52.38 GF percent, which is 11th, a 91.59 save percentage, which is 23rd, an 8.81 shorthanded percent, which is 6th, and a 1.004 PDO, which is 11th. For Tampa Bay, they have a CF percent of 51.59, which is 9th, of 56.7 goals for percent, which is 1st, a 92.16 save percentage, which is 10th, a 9.80 shorthanded percent, which is 2nd, and a 1.020 PDO, which is 3rd. Going into team stats, Columbus has been 15.4% on the power play, which is 28th in the league. Although their penalty kill has been 1st, 85%. They have 256 goals for, which is 12th, and 231 goals allowed, which is 11th. Tampa Bay has a power play and a penalty kill, both 1st in the league. Their power play has been 28.2, which is again 1st, and then just like Columbus, 85.0 penalty kill percent, which is also 1st. They have 319 goals for, which is 1st, and 221 goals allowed, which is 7th. Their head-to-head record, once again, Columbus is 0-3-0 against Tampa, and Tampa is 3-0-0 against the Jackets. Again, a 17-3 outscoring range, which is insane. So after reaching the Western Conference Final a year ago, Winnipeg... What? Okay, I clearly did not put this in the right thingy. I'm just going to skip this and go to the St. Louis Blues factor, because I totally messed that up. Wait, what? St. Louis, wait. Why the hell is Winnipeg's thing in here? What? I'm so confused. What am I doing with my life? Okay. Okay, the Tampa Bay Lightning, sorry about that, I don't know what the hell happened there. The Tampa Bay Lightning tied the NHL record, just like I mentioned before, by the 1990, okay, so it was 95-96 Detroit Red Wings for most wins in a season, and finished with the 4th most points in history. Right wing Nikita Kucherov set records in winning the Art Ross Trophy as the leading scorer in the NHL, with 128 points, 41 goals, 87 assists, which is just incredible. Kucherov set Lightning records for most assists and points in a single season. He broke the NHL record for most points by a Russia-born player, Alexander Mogilny, 127 points in 1992 and 1993, and had the most points by any player since 1995-1996, when Mario Lemieux had 161 and Jaromir Jagr had 149 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Holy crap, it's insane. But now it's, quote, unquote, the second season. One of the Lightning's more impressive feats of the season is how they finished, going 10-3-0 after clinching a Stanley Cup playoff berth March 9th. We've been ready for a while, Steven Stamkos said, but give our group a lot of credit for continuing to come to the rink every day, regardless of where we sat in the standings, and just wanting to win. That I have to give credit for. Winning 10 of 13 is obviously good, especially after clinching a spot, because like at that point, you're like, I've clinched, I can lose all the games, it doesn't matter, but like you still want to play good, you know what I mean? Like you don't just want to be garbage. The Columbus Blue Jackets went 7-1-0 in their final 8 games and clinched a playoff berth with a 3-2 shootout win at the New York Rangers on Friday. Getting into the playoffs was a relief after the Blue Jackets made the biggest splash in the NHL before the 2019 NHL trade deadline on February 25th. They added pending unrestricted free agents Matt Duchene and Ryan Dzingel in separate trades with the Ottawa Senators. They also kept forward Artemi Panarin and goalie Sergei Bobrovsky, each pending UFAs. The Blue Jackets went 5-7-1 in their final 13 games after the deadline and were on the outside of the playoff race March 21st, but they found their way in, outscoring the opposition 35-14 with 3 shutouts by Bobrovsky in their final 8 games. Panarin had 11 points, 3 goals, 8 assists, including the shootout winner against the Rangers. We're not done, Nick Foligno said. I think we're a team that feels really confident now that we've gone in with everything we faced and gone through. I think you're just seeing us become more of a team. So going into some game breakers. So for the Lightning, the list of candidates is long, including centers Stamkos and Braden Point, who scored 45 and 41 goals respectively. But Tampa Bay's game But Tampa Bay's game breaker has to be Kucherov, who is the favorite to win the Hart Trophy as NHL MVP. He played in all 82 games and had at least 1 point in 62 of them, including 2 or more in 38. Tampa Bay went 54, 5-3 when he had a point, and 8-11, 8-11 and 1 when he didn't. So for the Blue Jackets, Columbus acquired Panarin in a trade with the Chicago Blackhawks on June 23, 2017 because it needed a forward with his dynamic offensive ability. Panarin has been at everything the Blue Jackets thought they were getting when they made the trade for Brendan Saad. He had 87 points, 28 goals, 59 assists in 79 games this season, setting team records for assists and points for the second straight season after getting 82 points, 27 goals, 55 assists in 81 games of 2017-2018. So going into goaltending just a little bit more, Andrei Vasilevsky was first in wins, 39, and save percentage, 9.925. Second in goals against average, 2.40, and third with 6 shutouts among goalies who played in at least 50 games. The backup Louis Domingue didn't dress in the final 4 games because of a lower body injury and is day-to-day. He went 21-5-0 with a 2.88 goals allowed and a 0.908 save percentage in 26 games. Edward Pascali would be the backup if Domingue... Okay, so my sister just came downstairs, so I stopped. So, Edward Pascali would be the backup if Domingue isn't ready. He allowed 12 goals and won 1 game in 3 starts. For the Jackets, Bobrovsky went 6-1-0 with a 1.50 GAA and a .947 save percentage and 3 shutouts in 7 straight starts from March 24th to April 5th. He finished second behind Vasilevsky in wins with 37, including on NHL high 9 shutouts, and had a 2.58 goals allowed and a .913 save percentage. Bobrovsky has had his problems in the playoffs, going 5-14 with a 3.49 goals against and 8.91 save percentage in 24 games, 20 starts. Joonas Korpisalo, Bobrovsky's backup, started 21 games and went 10-7-3. So some numbers to know. So the Lightning, they finished first on the power play, like I said, and were tied for second on the penalty kill, like I said before. With the Blue Jackets, after finishing 28th on the PK last season, the Lightning had a plus-minus 103 goal differential, 325 to 222, including shootout deciding goals. They were 39-4-3 in games they scored the first goal, and 23-12-1 when they allowed the first goal. So even either way, they were really good. Like whether they scored first or didn't score first, they were the first team with 3 40-goal scorers. Stamkos, Kucherov point since the Penguins in 1995, 1996. Lemieux 69, Yager 62, and Peter Nedved 45. For the Jackets, they set team records for road wins 25 and points 52, and had a plus 18 goal differential. In road games, the Blue Jackets were shorthanded 200 times, fewest in the NHL, and allowed the fewest power play goals with 30. Forward Oliver Bjorkstrand scored 8 goals in his final 8 games. Columbus is 5-16 all-time in the playoffs. The Blue Jackets were outscored by the Lightning 17-3 in 3 games this season, like I told you guys before. So for the injury report, the Lightning, Victor Hedman, who won the Norris Trophy as the top defenseman in the NHL last season, missed the last 4 games with an upper body injury and is considered day-to-day. Like Hooper said, the Lightning were hopeful Hedman, who had 54 points, 12 goals, 42 assists in 70 games, would practice and be available for Game 1. The Jackets, defenseman Ryan Murray, 29 points, 1 goal, 28 assists, missed the last 24 games with an upper body injury. He was placed on an injured reserve February 22nd and is week to week. Defenseman Adam McQuaid, who the Blue Jackets added before the trade deadline, missed the last 5 games with an upper body injury and his status is unclear. So the captain, Steven Stamkos of the Lightning, has said that was unlike anything a lot of us have ever been through in our careers, being clinched for so long and being in a position where we knew we were going to be in the playoffs, but we wanted to finish strong, and I thought we did. We're ready for playoff hockey. For the Blue Jackets, their captain Nick Foligno said, "The best message that we can learn from all these games that we've played is when we stick with it, when we play that style of game, when we get on our forecheck, when we can consistently just go at it no matter what is going on in the game and react to things the right way, we give ourselves a chance to be a great team and a hard team. When we don't, teams can capitalize." So these teams will win if. So the Lightning will win if they play their game. This is simple for the Lightning because they have dominated the NHL by playing fast and aggressive. They never believe they're out of a game, and they shouldn't because of the firepower they have. Vasilevsky must be on his game, and his special teams have to stay as strong as they were in the regular season. If the Lightning don't change, they should win, and to me, fairly easily. The Jackets, they make it hard by being stingy defensively and staying out of the penalty box. They won't defeat the Lightning in a speed game or by trading chances. They must rely on an aggressive forecheck, strong wall play, tight gaps, and great goaltending. They need their top two forward lines to drive the offense because even if they do all of the above, they're going to have to score. Shutting down the Lightning for an entire series likely won't happen. So going down to my prediction. In the beginning, I was like, any team that faces Tampa Bay is just gonna get like totally like destroyed, just totally not even there, just like totally done. But based on how the Jackets have been doing and stuff, I actually do think they have a shot. I still think the Bolts will win, and I say in 6, maybe 7. Like, and I have written down here 5-6, possibly 7. And the reason I say 5-6, possibly 7 is because like they're really good. Like if they continue what they've been doing, then they'll definitely win in like 5 or 6 games. If they don't, then they might win in 7. But I do see them winning either way. I don't really see them losing. Because, like, can you imagine 62 wins in the regular season and then you lose in the first round? That's terrible. Like, I just do not see them losing in the first round. Like, it's just not possible to me. I do think the Bolts will take it. And I don't know how many games. I don't care. But I do see them taking the series for sure. If they don't, that's just a huge disappointment for the Lightning. That's like a total failure. A terrific regular season, a failure in the playoffs. Like, that's a total failure. I'm not joking. That's awful. Like, they have to make the Eastern Conference Final or the finals to be a success. Because, again, 62 wins in the regular season does not mean jack shit when game 1 of the playoff starts. Like, that's all behind them. They're in the playoffs. That's all that matters. They're playing their opponent. It all kind of like restarts. It kind of restarts just kind of like how the regular season starts and like the preseason starts. You know what I mean? It just kind of like it's all starting over again. So it's kind of like you forget about all that, and then you're just going into it all over again. Just not as many games, not 80, 82. But yeah, I do see the Bolts win. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I'm assuming that you're going to think that they'll win too. I do see Columbus fighting, but I don't see them winning at all. Like, I definitely do not see them winning. I can see them winning maybe 2-3 games, but I do think that it'll be the Bolts coming away with this series victory. Agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comments. More videos will be coming up, more previews, I will be doing more, and I will hopefully get them all up by Wednesday, which I definitely should, because these 2 I should have up tonight, and that's Sunday night, so I definitely should hopefully have them all up really soon. If not, that sucks, but I really should, because I'm going to work on this. Tomorrow I'm also off, but then Tuesday to Friday I work, so and I'm going to have to get up at like 10, so I'm not going to go to bed too late, so I'm not going to be having too much time to like, you know, do that shit. But let's just hope that I can get them all up, and let's hope I don't miss too many games because of work. My shifts, I actually end pretty early, like 6:36, which I should not miss any games for this upcoming week, unless they ask me to stay longer, which I always do. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.